Alex, the political elite have become so detached from reality through this climate change mythology. They've ghettoized themselves in a way, and they have no idea what the majority of the people feel about it. And the majority of the people, if you poll them, they see right through it. But they're so isolated in their sort of mythology of global warming and climate change.
That's right. Go ahead.
It's the emperor's new clothes. How fitting. Craig Rucker from CFACT pointed this out today. So how fitting we're in the city of Hans Christian Andersen, and the emperor has no clothes, and it's the global warming emperor who has no clothes, and no one can. The people in this summit cannot see it.
That's right. He wrote The Little Mermaid. He wrote all those great children's stories, and he did write The Emperor's New Clothes.
Yeah. If there's a Christmas tree downtown, Alex, in the center of town. It's being lit. The Christmas tree lights are being powered by people on bicycles. Okay, pedal-powered Christmas tree. If this treaty goes through, you and your staff are probably going to have to run your studio on bicycles.
Unless the globalists give us a special little chit saying that we're allowed to have electricity. See, it's not just taxes. According to this treaty, unelected corporate boards are allowed to decide who can even have a new technology. It's actually a dark age system. They advertise that, it's going to fund new technologies. No. They decide who can get funding for technologies, thus controlling it. And are people there on the ground realizing this is an attempt to reinstitute feudalism?
Well, yeah, this is really it's a reverse play of colonialism. So they've come now to colonize the middle class of the developed world. They're done with the developing world. It's been colonized and it's held in place, and this treaty would keep it that way. Now the next thing is the middle class is like a giant cow. And every reparation in this treaty is another hand milking that cow. The ability to revoke intellectual property rights, a 2% tax on every financial transaction, etc. The list goes on and on and on. And Lord,
a global authority over all air traffic and taxes, setting up a global government police force and tracking system, taxes on all the fuels, taxes on, it's 700 plus new bureaucracies.
Sure, that we're all going to pay for it at the end of the day. As if we don't have enough bureaucracies to contend with it, as if we don't get enough letters through the post, as if we don't have enough fines that we have to look out for paying and so forth. So
this is like Marie Antoinette saying, let them eat cake. Everybody's starving to death, and they say they want bread. And she said, it's reported she said that, let them eat cake, and everybody finally goes crazy. The bankers are up there literally eating the real economy.
Yeah, it's kind of surreal. If you've been studying this issue and you've been looking at the junk science that sort of underpins the climate change alarmist movement, it's almost surreal to look at the size of this event and the amount of money that's been spent. 140 private jets and 2,000 limousines or whatever the UN's laid on, and it's all pinned down by something that's not happening. CO2 is not heating up the atmosphere.
And the hookers there are so worshipful of the fraud and the hype, they're offering free sex to their globalist banker bosses. So it's a huge orgy as well. That's in the news. Just total Sodom and Gomorrah. The battle is joined. The fraud is the greatest in history. Think of the master plan, telling everybody the earth is dying, listing carbon dioxide as the problem, ignoring all the real environmental problems, coming in with a global corporate structure that is completely secret and unaccountable. That is in the treaty. And joining us from Copenhagen is independent journalist, shooting great video, Patrick Henningsen. Patrick, give people some of the names. We've been linking to some of the videos you've shot with Christopher Monckton, Lord Monckton, and others. You've been posting them on YouTube. They look great. You're doing a great job. And then tell us why you were drawn, as somebody who's been an environmental activist, a real environmental activist, to go to this event and get in the fight against these people.
Well, I'll tell you how the story started, Alex. In 2006, I've always been a kind of a environmentally concerned person since I lived in California in the 80s and 90s. They tried to build a pipeline from Lake Tahoe down to Los Angeles to pump, so everyone in LA could have a green lawn. And a lot of towns along the way were expected to buy into this, and my town was one of them, which was San Luis Obispo. So that was my introduction into environmental activism, try to stop this crazy, insane pipeline that they wanted to charge everybody access to on the way down to LA. So anyway, fast forward a few years in London, I decided to do an event for Save the Amazon Rainforest. We were legally able to buy up a patch of rainforest in the Amazon basin the size of Soho in central London by staging concerts all over. But anyway, I went to some meetings, and the whole carbon credit thing was coming out at that time, and it was very in vogue corporately to be involved in carbon neutral things. So I inquired to see, well, if we save this much, preserve this much virgin rainforest, how much carbon credits can our corporate sponsors get? And to my surprise, the answer was nothing. The whole idea of preservation wasn't on the ticket at all. So that's when a red flag went up in my head. And I had seen Al Gore's film, and I was impressed by it. I don't like him personally. I've always found him as not such a savory character, but I like the film. And so anyway, after this experience with the carbon credits, I started noticing all these city bankers who were showing up at these conferences and things, all very green and very green oriented. And I thought it was quite strange because when you met real environmental activists, you won't find them running around in the financial district usually and wearing 1,000-pound suits and
so as bad as this system would be, I mean, you got in at the ground level saying, let's save rainforest and native people. And they said, buddy, this ain't about that.
Basically, yeah, in a nutshell. So, and I kept trying, I kept digging. And the further I digged, the further I went down this rabbit hole, the more interesting it got. And that's,
in closing, and we'll have you back up again for a report either this week or next week. And I'm not sure how long you're going to be in Copenhagen, but we're indebted to you for the great help you've given us. Now have you researched the eugenics and found out that they want to shut off the food to the third world because that's in the new treaty, that they're going to have to pay double what we pay? I mean, you talk about mass murder. I mean, this isn't just a money-making scam. These are some bloodthirsty people. I mean, have you discovered that information?
Well, I think you can draw these conclusions. I mean, I've seen through your material and through Endgame and Fall of the Republic, etc. I think it's quite evident. But to cut the U.S. emissions 85% by 2050, the last time the U.S. had that level of emissions was 1900, and the population in 1900 of the U.S. was about 90 million. So are they planning to get rid of 4/5 of the U.S. population to meet their emissions targets by 2050? This is a question everyone should ask themselves.
Well, look at the head of the environment in England. He said they've got to go from 60 million to 30 million people in England. Same statement in Australia. This is eugenics, population reduction. We'll cover it more tomorrow. Retransmission starts now with all the key info. Great job, sir. We'll talk to you again very soon, and we'll list any websites that you want to give out. God bless you all. Great job, crew.